really in our hands, the power that we have to change.
Excuse us.
Yeah, don't go back to
I know that.
Philadelphia.
Thank you very much for coming.
Minute past, so, thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. It was a great pleasure.
Take good care. Bye, Lama. See you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure meeting you. Have a safe
But
trip
I
back.
You have to hurry.
I don't know what to do with this. I can sign.
No problem.
This is my first time.
So,
Goodbye, everybody.
anyhow, the point, like, Buddha's teachings are so vast. There are so many things which are related to the actual reality of daily life. We could stay hours and hours and hours talking about them. But the point is, there are some very simple things that we can use in our daily life. It can be of great benefit. And what I try to do today is simply to bring back some simple things that I believe that everyone already knows. I don't believe that I didn't bring anything new to anyone. Maybe the definition of jealousy and envy, but nothing much new, you know. But sometimes I believe are the simple things which we need to remember again. And I see how, in my life, how important they are, how much difference they make, and how beautiful it is to use the mind in a way that it goes in the same direction we want it to go. It goes in favor to us. You know, it's beautiful to use our mind in a way it goes in our favor. And things change, you know, it becomes so easy. Okay. Just one thing that I was supposed to say in the beginning, but that I forgot completely, is why I am here in New York. I came to New York actually because I had one idea a few months ago, not that long ago. When it was that? June? Yeah, it wasn't June actually. End of June. And mid of June, something like that. And I had this idea because I said, look, we today in the West, first of all, we have no idea whatsoever what a lineage is. In our culture, the concept of lineage is not present. The concept of, I received teachings from my master, and it goes in an uninterrupted way until it reaches Buddha Shakyamuni. So there is no stop. So I received the teachings. But each person that gave the teachings one to the other, they also practice it. So it's something alive. And that's to receive a lineage. I received the lineage from Lama Tsongkhapa, which means since him until now, in an uninterrupted way, the teachings were passed by until they reach me. And who is teaching me practice them and live them. So in Buddhism, lineage is something very important. And I was saying that very often we don't know what a lineage is, generally speaking. And specifically, we don't know the preciousness and importance of lineages in general. And we don't know our own tradition. And if we don't know the past, we cannot give the right value and we cannot understand well the present. And very often, if we don't know well the present also, we cannot give the right direction for the future. So today, we follow a tradition. I follow, I think some of you also, inside Buddhism, which follows a specific lineage. And there is a tradition which is very precious. It has been followed since so many centuries. And with so many results. And today in the world there are so many thousands of people practicing the same thing. When we were talking here today, there are people in Tibet. If you go to a completely faraway place, there are the monks that are talking about what we taught. They made the prayer that we did today in the beginning. So it's like when we call a spiritual family. The spiritual family is actually very broad. It's in the same way like when you meet a faraway cousin sometimes. You know, when you know, oh, it's a faraway cousin, there is some feeling there of connection. Because it's family. The same way with the spiritual family happens the same. So my idea, I had already for some time, but this last June it came strong, was I want to make a movie about our spiritual family, telling the history. Where do we come from? Which are our ancestors, let's say, which is our lineage, which is our spiritual great-grandfathers and so on. Where do we come from? Which were the teachings? Who today is practicing this tradition in the East? Like, for example, I think most of you don't know, like, following the specific tradition of Lama, today in Tibet there may be around 5,000 monks. And in the West there are maybe, 60,000 people. Just by numbers that I know like this. So these are things that normally we don't know. We have no idea. And very often also this mixture of, okay, what a tradition with a structure and a baggage that brings for a very long time, and someone that just one day come and invent something, have a nice idea, mix up a little bit from here, a little bit from there. It's very interesting. In the traditional Tibetan way, like if you see one of my teachers in Tibet, the abbot of the monastery of Tashilhunpo, when I go to receive teachings from him, he say many things, and after I ask him, I make him a question and he tells me, this master said this, that master said that, Lama Tsongkhapa said like this, the Panchalama said like that, and I ask, okay, wonderful, but what do you think about it? And he answers me, what I think doesn't matter. What I think is for me. Who am I to say what I think about such teachings when the great masters already set their position? Here in the West, very often we do like this. I read 3 books, I write the 4th. So it's just like, here I am, I create my own tradition, we are ready to do anything. So then we don't go deep. Very often it can be a bad thing, but we have a tradition. So my idea, making a long story short, had this idea to make this documentary, and one person said, okay, let's do it. So a movie, a documentary done in a good way about it, and talking from very practical aspects. I went on making a fundraising for it. It's going quite okay, otherwise I wouldn't be here. And from a very practical way, we saw that to get the cameras and the tripod and the microphones and everything you need for it, it's much cheaper to come from Italy to New York and buy it here than buying it in Italy itself.
Without.
So that's why I'm here actually. I was today the whole day in B&H doing things. So that's basically why I came initially. And
Came to New York to shop.
yeah,
I bet
that's it.
Very
From
original
Europe, people
idea.
And so, anyhow, I hope this movie will be of benefit. I hope it's something that will work out in the way. So personally, I don't even one text, but I don't have it in English with me here, so I will send it afterwards so we can share it also to learn a little bit more about it. And it's not something from one day to the other, because we need to, now we are going to shoot in Tibet. I'm trying, I don't think it will be necessarily possible, but to film all the monasteries that follow the same tradition of Lama. And then after, to go to India, Nepal, Europe, United States, Brazil. That's the idea. So it will take some time, I think more or less maybe a year. And the idea is to do with professional people. So now I've got 2 professional guys that are coming, one director of photography and his assistant that are coming to film in Tibet. So as we have professional people, I cannot take my camera and give it to him. I have some material that they can do something with it. So that's basically originally why I came. So now I think I'm very, very happy that we could be here today.
And maybe
Together.
one day the film will be shown at the Tribeca Film Festival. You come back to New York then.
Why not?
Right?
Now I want to do something. The idea, we always say, keep the objective high, the expectation low, and a constant effort. Then you get a good result. I have a high objective, to make a beautiful movie that many people can see, like high standard. The expectations are low, and the effort, we go step by step to do whatever we need to do to get there. then wherever we get, it's okay.
Michelle, have you heard of the film Unmistaken Child?
No.
No? Have you heard of it?
What's the name again?
Unmistaken Child.
Unmistaken Child.
It was done recently. It was filmed recently in Film 4. I saw it. It's about a child who, a young monk, whose teacher has passed on, Tibetan monk, and he wants to find his teacher. So they go traveling in Tibet and northern India, and they find the child.
Nice.
They reincarnate.
That's nice.
It was done with a very expensive, low lighting and very beautifully done. Maybe you'll see it sometime.
Yeah, sure. Sure, thank you. And anyhow, for this project, every type of help is welcome. I found myself in something that is not my job. It's not, I just had the idea and I was hoping someone would do it, but by then it just came to me to do it. Oh, I have many friends in Brazil and in Italy that are directors of cinema and so on, and they all said, you are the director, nobody else can do it, because you have the whole film in your head, nobody else has. So I said, okay, will you help me? But somehow, okay, that's anyhow, something should come up. So we are going in this direction. So if any way that anyone could help, like maybe someone you know, some idea, anything would be very welcome.
Are you going to choose a particular family to make the movie, or how do you plan to?
Now the plan, we're going to shoot in the different monasteries, making interview to the monks. And the idea is to show the lifestyle of the monks in the monasteries. Like since they wake up and they're practicing, show the debating, the meditation, and also tell the history of the great masters of the lineage, where they were born, what happened in their life, and so on.
Really life stuff.
Yeah, and then at the same time show stories also in the West. So people today practicing in a completely different lifestyle, let's say in New York or Sao Paulo or whatever. So living a guy goes to show the person going to work wherever he is working, doing whatever it is, normal life, but then after goes home, make the offerings in the altar, sits to make a meditation, exactly the same way that a monk in Tibet is doing today. So it's to show how actually the tradition that we have alive here in the West today, it's something that actually is also alive in Tibet, and it's something that was not invented yesterday. And how I thought so.
When will you be back in Tibet?
I'm going to travel to Tibet the 31st of July.
I have a very dear friend who is a documentary filmmaker, and she is in Tibet filming now.
Oh. Where in Tibet do you know?
I honestly don't know, but I think she's going to be there when you get there. She's there now.
Okay, we're going to be in central Tibet, because Tibet is very large, so depends where. And one of the points of this film also is really there. It should be totally non-political way, really to show the aspect of Dharma, so it can be shown in China, it can be shown anywhere. So to show the preciousness of a tradition and to show how it's alive. Because in the moment that we show also that the same tradition that we have monks in little monasteries in like nowhere, they even take 2 days of car to reach it in Tibet. You have people in New York, in Brazil, in Italy, in England, or wherever, following the same tradition and same practice. So there is no way how you can destroy also something which is alive everywhere. So it's also a very subtle way how to give messages of that. I think many different subtle messages should go together with it. So, yes. So we do the dedications. By that, it's always important to start with generation to motivate the motivation and to end with a dedication. I would like also to thank very much everyone. It's been a very nice evening. I'm very happy to be here. Just, as I said before, just sharing some thoughts, some experience. And thank for the organization, for Lydia, and everything. Okay.
Etsun Lama Kutse Rabden Chi Namkra Chenle Chochur Gepa Dan Losan Tempe Drume Sasom Drove Muse Tatu Negyuru Chi Nimo Dele Sendele Nime Koyan Dele Insen Tatu Dele Pe Kuncho Sumgi Chingi Lo Kuncho Sumgi Modrup So Kuncho Sumgi Drashisho. At dawn or dusk, at night or midday, may the three jewels grant us their blessings. May they help us to achieve all realizations and sprinkle the path of our lives with various signs of auspiciousness. Drashidile.